Hello, my friend. If right now you feel like your life is just passing by in a dull, colorless way, not happy, not sad, just nothing feels exciting anymore, then maybe this episode is for you. Or maybe your life is actually full. You've got a job, a family, and things that many others could only dream of. But still, you feel like something's missing. There's an empty space inside, something no one else can see. If that's the case, then I truly believe this episode is meant for you. Today, we're going to sit down together and talk about something that seems small, but might completely change the way you see your life. That thing is gratitude. You don't need to take it too seriously. You don't need to mentally prepare. Just take a moment to relax, breathe a little, and allow my heart to open up to you. Because this is going to be a gentle, honest conversation, like two friends sitting over tea, sharing something heartfelt and real. Have you ever wondered, why should I practice gratitude? I already try to live kindly. Do I really need to do more? The answer is yes. It's very necessary, absolutely essential. Because imagine for a second, what happens when we don't have gratitude? We easily fall into complaining, numbness, or even ingratitude. And no one wants to live in a world full of ungrateful people. When no one feels thankful toward anyone else, then there's no reason left to love, to help, or to sacrifice for each other. Gratitude isn't just for religious or spiritual people. It's a way of living. It's a healing energy. It's the root of love. People who live with gratitude tend to be softer-hearted, and they are often loved more deeply, naturally, effortlessly, without having to try too hard. So, if lately you've been feeling dry, bored, lonely, or just empty, it could be that the gratitude inside you has fallen asleep. And maybe, just maybe, after this episode, that feeling might wake up again inside your heart. Sounds a little philosophical, doesn't it? But don't worry, just keep listening. The first step to growing gratitude is awareness. You don't have to do anything yet. Just realize one clear truth. I'm able to stand firm on these feet of mine because many other feet have helped me get here. Sounds a bit strange, right? But think about it. You might believe you're standing strong in life because you're talented, resilient, and hardworking. And I believe that's partly true, but it's not the whole story. For you to be okay like you are now, eating regularly, sleeping in peace, not feeling too overwhelmed, there have been many people around you, parents, partners, children, friends, colleagues, neighbors. Sometimes they don't even have to do anything. Just the fact that they're still there already gives you a quiet foundation to live from. Now, imagine this. If even one of them suddenly disappeared, what would happen? Would you still feel that same normal? Some people used to be full of strength and energy until their mother passed away. Others thought they were truly independent until they lost their closest friend. And it's only in moments like that that you realize, I was never really standing alone. I've been standing firm thanks to so many arms, so many silent presences around me. That's why we need gratitude. Not because of something big or dramatic, but simply because they're still here. After the pandemic, we understood this better than ever. So many people lost their loved ones. Some lost their faith entirely. They could no longer stand strong because the feet that once held them up were gone. What about you? If you still feel okay, if your life still feels normal, then you have something to be thankful for. Because not everyone still has what you do. Some people will say, we should be independent. We shouldn't rely on anyone. Sounds reasonable, right? But in reality, hardly anyone can truly live that way. You might meditate, learn to live alone, or practice self-healing. But you still need someone next to you. We're human. And human nature is connection, community. Being grateful to others doesn't make you weak. On the contrary, it makes you deeper, more mature, and happier. So, if you still have loved ones beside you, don't wait until they're gone to appreciate them. If you still have an ordinary day, with no pain, no suffering, then that's already something extraordinary. Gratitude doesn't require someone to do anything for you. Their presence alone is enough reason to be thankful. But then comes the question, how do I keep this feeling of gratitude from fading away? How do I let it stay in my heart a little longer? The answer is practice. Gratitude is just like a muscle. Nobody's born with a heart full of thankfulness. It needs to be cared for, nurtured, little by little, every day. And today, I want to share with you a very simple method. It's called the one-line journal. So what is the one-line journal? Simple. Each night, before you go to bed, take exactly 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Think back on your day and write down one positive thing that happened. Just one line. One short sentence. No need for deep thoughts or long explanations. For example, today my mom cooked my favorite dish. A friend messaged me out of the blue just to check in. My morning coffee was brewed just right. Or even simpler, the weather was beautiful. No traffic jams today. Had a good laugh with an old friend. Just one line, enough to make my heart smile before falling asleep. Some people might ask, wait, how can just one sentence make any difference? It does. Way more than you might think. Because when you train your mind to focus on something positive, even something tiny, you're reprogramming your brain to see life through a different lens. One line a day means 30 moments of gratitude in a month, 365 in a year, and one day when you look back, you'll realize life was actually beautiful all along.
You can write it in. A little notebook by your bed, a note on your phone, or even a Google Doc. What matters isn't the tool, it's the daily habit. And to help you remember, you can set a gentle reminder. Something like, time for your one-line gratitude journal. Sweet and cheerful, right? So why does this method work so well? Because it's easy. And the things that are simple are the things that last. You don't need to be a good writer. You don't need to feel happy. You don't even need a lot of time. You just need the awareness to pause for a few seconds, reflect on your day, and choose one thing you're grateful for. And you know what? At first you might struggle to come up with something, but over time, your brain will naturally start looking for the good in each day. And even on your worst days, you'll begin to notice little sparks of light, ones you would have missed without writing them down. Some people say, I don't feel grateful, so I don't want to write anything. But honestly, if you wait until you feel grateful to write something, you might be waiting your whole life. It's like this. You can't know how good Kobe beef tastes until you've tried it. And gratitude is the same. You have to experience it to really understand it. So if you've never tried the one-line journal, why not start today? You don't have to believe it'll work right away. But I promise, if you stick with it for 30 days, your heart will start to feel warmer. For real. And the beautiful part is, one day you'll look back at those entries and it'll feel like watching a movie of your own life. Every scene will be filled with little joys, loving moments, and quiet beauty. I used to feel like life was boring and empty. But by writing things down, I realized there's something to be grateful for every single day. That's when I understood gratitude isn't just a nice idea. It's actually medicine for the heart. So to sum it all up, every night before bed, write one line. It doesn't have to be special. Just let it be honest. And over time, you'll feel like your life is richer. Not because you have more stuff, but because you notice and appreciate more of what you already have. Start today, not for anyone else, but because you deserve to live with a warm, open heart. A lot of us are living with plenty, but we're still not happy. Maybe you've been like me. You have a house, a car, a stable job, loved ones, but something still feels missing. You still sigh, still feel empty sometimes, still wonder, what am I even living for? That was me too, until I realized I had so much, but I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't emotionally connected to what I already had. And this simple technique, it did one thing. It turned the light back on inside me. Now, if writing one sentence a day doesn't feel like enough for you, here's a second method. Every day, or even just once a week, take a few minutes to sit down and write. I have, and that helps me. For example, I have a small home, and that helps me sleep safely every night. I have a phone, and that helps me stay in touch with my mom. I have strong legs, and that helps me walk to the park every morning. I have the ability to read and write, and that helps me learn and grow every day. Sounds simple, right? But when you really sit down, put pen to paper, and write from the heart, you'll feel a quiet peace inside. It's not just a list. It's a moment of coming back to yourself. When you truly touch gratitude, it's no longer something you try to do. It comes naturally, gently, but with power. I once wrote, I have a friend who always listens to me, and that helped me not feel so alone. When I wrote that line, I cried. Not because I was sad, but because I felt like my heart came back to life. You can write anything, big or small. It doesn't have to be anything grand. I have an electric fan, and it helps me sleep through the summer heat. I have a little bit of savings, and it helps me feel less anxious. Once you write it down, you start to realize life isn't as bad as you thought. Maybe you just haven't paused long enough to really notice the value of the things around you. At first, you might get stuck, and that's totally normal. Our brains have been trained to see what's missing, to compare, to want more. But when you practice regularly, little by little, your way of seeing begins to soften, deepen, and widen. You won't just feel grateful for things you can touch. like money, phones, clothes, you'll start appreciating the invisible gifts too. I have quiet time each morning. I have the ability to forgive. I have patience. All of those are treasures. And over time, you'll start to feel more whole, even if nothing in your outer world changes. Because gratitude redefines your life from the inside out. You don't need to buy more to be happy. You just need to look at what you already have with a new heart. And finally, if you want to take your gratitude practice to the next level, try adding this third part to your journal. I have, that helps me, I will honor it by. For example, I have a mom who always calls to remind me to eat. That helps me feel cared for. I will honor that by not snapping at her when she calls. Just like that, gratitude becomes love in action. And that's when gratitude turns into a way of life. So right now, grab a piece of paper or open your note app and write 5 lines using this formula. I have, that helps me, I will honor it by. And do this just 2 or 3 times a week. You'll be surprised. The shift doesn't come from outside. It starts within. You know what's strange? We live in a time when we have so much, yet we feel more empty than ever.
We know we should feel grateful. We hear it everywhere. Appreciate life. Cherish every moment. Love the people around you. But truthfully, many of us don't feel any of it. You might be one of them. And if you are, I want you to know this. It's okay. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. You're just tired. Someone once messaged me, I know I should be grateful, but I don't feel anything. Everything just feels like a duty, like I'm forcing myself to survive one day at a time. Does that sound familiar? I understand, because I've been there too. Back then, I didn't feel any gratitude. Not because I had nothing to be thankful for, but because I was in too much pain, too exhausted, too burned out to feel anything good. Here's something interesting. When you hear something positive, something hopeful, your brain might immediately react with, that won't work. Sounds nice, but it's not realistic. Or, I tried that already, didn't help. That's not logic talking. That's your wound, trying to protect you. It shuts down hope, because hoping and then being disappointed again hurts too much. So we stop hoping, just to avoid the pain. And that's how we slowly shift into defense mode, numb, disconnected, cut off from every good thing. Have you ever noticed this? Someone just lost a loved one. Even though there are still many people around them who care deeply, they just can't feel happy. Or someone just achieved a huge goal, and yet they still feel empty. Because the heart isn't a machine. It's a living, breathing thing. And when it's been hurt and no one tends to those wounds, then no matter how many good things come your way, they won't be able to reach you. So what can we do? How do you nurture gratitude in a heart full of cracks? The answer is, don't force it. Don't romanticize it. And don't expect to feel something right away. Be gentle with yourself. It's like caring for a tiny plant. You water it a little each day. Don't expect it to bloom in 3 days. Just start with small steps. Write one small line each night. Write down something you have and how it helps you. Or simply close your eyes for 30 seconds and quietly think, thank you, life, for letting me breathe one more day. That's it.
Gratitude isn't here to change your life overnight. It's here to make your heart just a little less cold. I call it warming your heart back up. Like when you rub your hands over your chest, take a deep breath, and slowly, gently, you begin to warm the parts of your heart that have been cold for too long. And then one day, without warning, you'll feel the warmth again. You'll be standing on your balcony, sunlight falling across the leaves, a soft breeze passing through. You smile. And in that quiet moment, you realize you've come back to yourself. Because in the end, all the techniques, journals, and tools, they're just that, tools. What I truly hope for you is that you reconnect with the aliveness inside your heart. Because when gratitude awakens, it's not just about being thankful that others were kind to you. It's also about being thankful for you, for everything you've gotten through, for still being here, still breathing, still capable of feeling. You know something? As long as you can feel, you're still alive. And if you can still feel grateful, that means there's still love inside you. There's still light. So don't rush to feel grateful. You don't need to force anything. Just don't abandon your own heart. And if you're still here listening to these words, I believe it means you're already on your way back to yourself. It's a journey that takes patience, honesty, and a lot of heart. But it's also a journey filled with light, one step at a time. Each day, just a little bit. You practice. You allow your heart to warm up again. You accept even the days when you don't feel anything. And slowly, your heart comes back to life. Thank you, truly, for staying with me until the very end. I hope the videos on this channel can be a companion for you, a small source of warmth, to help you begin this journey of self-discovery and growth, not for anyone else, but because you deserve to live with a heart that's warm, full, and alive.